Singapore Prime Minister strengthens support to Timor-Leste on historic visit. Foreign Minister meets workers and builds ties in South Korea. Ministry of Health expands medical oxygen production. Asian elephants find new forever home in South Australian Safari Park. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Zegedes. Timor-Leste welcomed Singapore's Prime Minister Lawrence Wong as its honorary guest last week, further strengthening cooperation between the two countries. It's the first official visit of any serving Singaporean Prime Minister to the country. President Ramazorta honored the Prime Minister with the highest order of Timor-Leste, the Grand Collar, for his contribution to strengthening cooperation between the two countries.
Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and his delegation arrived in Dili on a private jet on Thursday afternoon, welcomed by President Ramazorta, Prime Minister Xanana Gusmao, and a guard of honor. He was driven by the President in his minimoc, with the Prime Minister in the back seat, as hundreds of students waved Timorese, Singaporean, and Asian flags. On Friday, Prime Minister Wong made an official visit to the presidential palace in Dili, where he was awarded the country's highest honor, the Grand Collar of the Order of Timor-Leste, by President Ramazorta.
It is a reflection of our respect and gratitude to Singapore for your contribution to Timor-Leste since 1999, after independence till this very day, highly symbolic of your visit.
Prime Minister Wong thanked Timor-Leste for the colorful welcome and the honorary medal.
I received this honor not as an individual, but on behalf of Singapore and the many Singaporeans who have contributed to the friendship between our two countries. The award belongs to those who have served here over the years, conducting training, sharing professional knowledge, building capabilities, and living and working alongside our Timorese friends in support of nation building.
After the ceremony, Singapore's Prime Minister held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Gusmao at Government Palace. The two leaders witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding by both foreign ministers, strengthening capacity building, bilateral exchanges, economic ties, and human resource development.
We discussed how Timor-Leste and Singapore can keep building a practical partnership that supports Timor-Leste's development, strengthens our participation in ASEAN, and deepens the friendship between our peoples.
Prime Minister Gusmao invited more investment from Singapore, saying a productive economy will make the country more resilient.
We need investment that creates jobs and supports the development of our private sector. Timor-Leste welcomes investments from Singapore, including in construction, tourism, healthcare, services, and the development of the blue economy.
By working together, we can create new business opportunities, support economic diversification, and generate growth that benefits both our peoples.
Singapore's Prime Minister also announced further support of Timor-Leste's integration into and chairmanship of ASEAN through expansion of the enhanced Singapore-Timor-Leste ASEAN Readiness Support Package, or ESTARS.
We will organize tailored workshops on the duties of ASEAN chairmanship for officials in Dili, and we welcome attachments by Timorese officials to Singapore's ASEAN chairmanship team so that they can gain practical first-hand experience.
Both Prime Ministers highlighted the importance of international law, dialogue, and regional integration at a time of global economic uncertainty.
For small states like Timor-Leste, international law is essential to our sovereignty, our security, and our development.
The more we are integrated, the more we are able to cooperate with one another, then we will have greater resilience, we will have greater diversification, and that will enable us to ride through any volatility in the global economy.
Prime Minister Wong's visit comes after Prime Minister Gusmao visited Singapore in July last year, and Singapore established an embassy in Dili the year before. Vicky Madeira, RTTL World News.
Last week saw the first official visit to South Korea by a Timorese foreign minister since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 2002. Minister Benito dos Santos Freitas held meetings with the Timorese community working in South Korea before partaking in bilateral discussions with the country's foreign minister to discuss economy, development, cooperation, and security. RTTL World News reporter Zeri Madeira brings this story from Seoul.
An hour north of South Korea's capital, the city of Pocheon is home to a large active community of Timorese people working in the agriculture, fisheries, and manufacturing sectors. Here, Timor-Leste's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Benito dos Santos Freitas, held a dialogue with members of the Timorese community and representatives of the Timorese Labor Union in Pocheon, where workers expressed their experiences, aspirations, and concerns.
We are grateful to the Minister for making a state working visit and taking the time to meet with us to encourage and motivate Timorese to work with will and courage and to make a difference to our economy.
This is Minister Freitas' first visit to South Korea as Timor-Leste's foreign minister, but he has previously visited the country in 2010 and 2011 as the Secretary of State for Professional Training and Employment. In 2008, he oversaw Timor-Leste's initial labor agreement with South Korea's employment permit system.
I let workers come to Korea amounting to 1,054, and today I confirm that this number has increased to 5,700 workers who come to work in Korea. This is a very large number, and I hope that this number can improve our economy.
The minister hopes that work and education opportunities offered to Timorese citizens in South Korea will continue to benefit the nation, but workers are calling for more support upon returning home.
We cannot only be proud of the Timorese workers who come to work in Korea, but we must create a policy to use their skills after they return to Timor-Leste.
After returning to Seoul, the minister participated in high-level bilateral discussions with his Korean counterpart, Cho Hyang.
The Korean government highly values its relationship with Timor-Leste as a steadfast partner that shares core values such as liberty and democracy. In this context, I'd like to congratulate you for the historic accession of Timor-Leste to ASEAN last year.
Discussions between the pair explored ways to advance cooperation in sectors identified by Timor-Leste as national development priorities, including education, labor mobility, trade and investment, human resource development, climate change, and energy.
This will open more space for cooperation between our two countries and help in the development assistance to our country as to promote economic growth and diversification of our programs.
Minister Freitas confirmed the government's commitment to expand Timor-Leste's participation in South Korea's employment permit system. But for thousands of Timorese working in South Korea, the success of the partnership will be measured by the support they receive during their time overseas and after they return home. Zeri Madeira, RTTL World News.
Following his bilateral meeting with the Republic of Korea's foreign minister, Minister Freitas sat down with RTTL World News reporter Zeri Madeira to elaborate on some of the major points of cooperation to come out of their discussions.
Mr. Could you please tell us about what the significance of this meeting between Timor-Leste and South Korea?
This visit to South Korea is really very important because it reflects the bilateral cooperation of our two countries, and precisely my presence here is to meet the Minister of Foreign Affairs our Republic of Korea to strengthen the ties of cooperation and to discuss on all options, priorities for development and cooperation in areas of important benefits such as labor, mobility, education, our cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, training for public servants, for our future students. These are very important issues that we cooperate and we discuss with the foreign minister. And also we extend the views to other areas of cooperation in terms of economic discussions, on which we will engage more on various discussion.
South Korea has become an important destination for Timorese seasonal workers. How successful has this labor cooperation been so far?
Since 2012, we have more than 1,054 workers, but now it increased up to more than 5,000 workers working in South Korea in different areas, in different industries. So they are benefiting from it, again, in their salaries. It also increases in skills, knowledge, expertise that they can contribute towards their self programs, initiatives back in the country.
Is the government seeking to expand labor mobility agreements with South Korea?
Of course, this cooperation continues, and up to now we have this number that already reported, more than 5,000 workers. The government keep this intensive cooperation program with South Korea, and we want to see this is a model of success, that the cooperation C2C, government to government. So this is really one of the very good example. And I think this body in discussion with Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister also stressed the importance that the government of Korea aware about the human rights protections to labor. So even the current president, someone who really very much giving special attention to the situation of workers.
There are an estimated 1,300 to 1,500 Timorese workers staying and working illegally in South Korea. What can the government do to re-engage these workers?
This is a situation that requires collective efforts from our government, also from our embassy here in Seoul. So we incorporate with the government of Korea in terms of the regulation to find alternatives or solutions, options that can bring them back to the normalcy at the stage of their work. And I think from the ministry, our Secretary of State for Vocational Training and Employment in Timor-Leste should have more discussions at the level of the government and the Korean authorities to see whether we can sort out the situation.
South Korea has provided scholarships and training opportunities for Timorese students. How important are these programs in building Timor-Leste's future workforce?
Yes, South Korea is very much well known in the education level, and I think is very much worldwide recognized after the Finland in terms of the quality of education. So the scholarship provided from the government of South Korea to our young Timorese are very important, aiming at supporting their knowledge, technical expertise, and skills so that they can improve to be better employers. They can be our laborers of quality to build the economy of our country.
How is the government ensuring that the students who study in South Korea can return and contribute their skills to Timor-Leste's development?
Our country is a country in continuous building, the state building processes, and we really need our potential national human resources capable to work to contribute towards the development. So people who train in South Korea are very important assets for the country. So we really expect that upon their schools, after the graduation, when they return home, they can be used channel to the government institutions or international agencies where are areas whereby they can also contribute their potential, their knowledge and expertise to assist in the development of the country.
Thank you very much for talking to us in RTTL-Notisia.
Thank you.
The Ministry of Health and its partners have opened 3 new oxygen plants across Timor-Leste this year. The facilities mark a major milestone in strengthening healthcare services by ensuring a reliable, life-saving supply of medical oxygen for critically ill patients.
A breath of hope for people in need as a new oxygen plant opens in Manatutu.
Currently, we have produced 210 oxygen tanks.
Mr. Ximenez told RTTL that the first production began in February 2026, but production activities are currently suspended. The National Institute of Pharmacy and Medical Products, INFPM, is the public institution that is responsible for medical products, including oxygen production. Initial purity testing showed that oxygen production in Manatutu failed to meet World Health Organization standards, and another test is needed. According to the World Health Organization standards, medical oxygen must have a purity level above 93%.
It is necessary to retest because the initial test results show that the purity has dropped to 91%, so it does not meet the standard.
In 2025, the government and its partner, the Global Fund, allocated almost $448,000 to establish the facility. This facility is not unique. 3 months ago, the Ministry of Health, with the support of the World Health Organization, WHO, opened another oxygen plant at the Gidu Valadares National Hospital in Delhi.
Gidu Valadares Hospital has an oxygen plant, which we have managed to reduce more or less $1 million from the budget to purchase oxygen. With the establishment of oxygen plants in a national hospital, Manatutu and Baucau municipalities, this is a great achievement.
In the last 3 months, the National Hospital has used the oxygen they produce to treat patients requiring respiratory support.
This has responded to the hospital needs of oxygen, as we have just implemented this year. If the production stays stable in the coming year, we will stop the supply from INFPM and companies.
In one day, the National Hospital's oxygen plant can produce around 140 cylinders of oxygen. The hospital plans to sell oxygen to private clinics across the country as production increases. Every breath matters, and with these new oxygen plants, every patient has a better chance at life. Pauline Quintown, Sony Madeira, RTTL World News.
In international news, 5 gentle giants of the Asian jungle from zoos all over Australia and New Zealand are settling into their forever home, a purpose-built enclosure an hour south of Adelaide. It's especially designed so the elephants can spend time together or, depending on their mood, time apart.
It was a special day for these elephants, a new 12-hectare enclosure after decades in city zoos.
They've done a really good job with the enclosures. You're able to get so close. They're just so big and majestic.
We just think they're magnificent.
Over the last 2 years, the 5 Asian elephants have relocated to Monarto Safari Park from Perth, Taronga and Auckland zoos, a new forever home where they can roam, swim, dust, bathe and develop social bonds. The zoo hoping to raise awareness for the species and advance animal welfare and husbandry knowledge, although no plans for elephant calves anytime soon.
But it's really not our focus at the moment. Our focus is about trying to provide the best, time with these guys and getting them the opportunities to socialise with one another.
A dedicated team with specialist vets will care for the animals, and after an adjustment period, the zoo says the animals are settling well into their new home.
We have sort of 2 that sort of are mixing together. We've got 2 others that are very close, they're almost on the cusp of mixing together as well. And then we have the bull who's more solitary in his sort of, behaviours.
Forging new bonds from near and far.
A Gold Coast girl is challenging long-held traditions in one of the world's oldest sports. At just 8 years old, Rihanna Hills is taking big swings towards glory on the golf course.
A pint-sized prodigy with the drive to win. So every time I hit a ball, it just every single week it's gone further.
With just a year of competitive golf behind her, Rihanna Hills will travel to America this month. With her dad as caddy, she'll play at an invitation-only championship event for kids aged 5 to 12.
Within a year to be able to do that, it's quite unbelievable, but very happy, very happy.
The 8-year-old is one of many young girls taking female representation in golf well above par.
We know that in the last couple of years, 60% of people taking up golf are women, which is obviously great news for our sport.
And interest from younger players is chipping away at some long-held traditions.
Golf clubs now are realising that junior girls and boys are the future of their clubs, and if they don't give them the opportunities to play on the course and open the course up for them, they won't have a golf club in 20 or 30 years.
For now, the biggest battle for this school-aged star is practising under a setting sun and avoiding distractions.
Especially the mozzie bites.
And now, tomorrow's weather, starting with Dili. Mostly sunny with a top temperature of 32 and a low of 21 degrees. Mostly sunny in Baucau, temperatures ranging between 28 and 18 degrees. In Lautem, partly sunny with a brief shower in the afternoon, a high of 27 and a low of 20 degrees. Mostly sunny in Bobonaro, a top temperature of 27 and a low of 13. And clear and sunny in Deleu, temperatures ranging between 26 and 12 degrees. Now, looking abroad, plenty of sunshine in Kupang, a high of 32 and a low of 21. In Bali, abundant sunshine with temperatures ranging between 34 and 20 degrees. Partly sunny in Jakarta with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a top of 35 and a low of 24. Cloudy and humid in Seoul with occasional afternoon rain, a high of 28 and a low of 23 degrees. In Darwin, breezy at times with plenty of sun, temperatures ranging between 32 and 20 degrees. Windy with rain at times in Sydney, a high of 17 and a low of 11 degrees. Blazing sunshine and extreme heat continuing in Lisbon, temperatures ranging between 37 and 22 degrees. In London, mostly cloudy and very warm with a top temperature of 28 and a low of 17. And a couple of morning showers in Belfast, otherwise cloudy and windy, a top temperature of 20 and a low of 14 degrees. Thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Thursday. Bye for now.